What's going on, people? How you doing? It's your boy Add On Beats, and I got my brother Benny Negro. This is Turn It Up a Notch Radio, and right now we are live at WBLS with the great radio personality, legendary Mr. Lenny Green. How you doing, Mr. Green?
Yeah. Add on. First of all, I'm not legendary yet.
Oh, here we go.
I'm trying to get to when I can get to Red Alert's level, cool DJ Red Alert's level, then you can call me legendary. Well, see, you have to understand. Red Alert, right? He's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
That's what's up.
Yes.
That's great.
Yes.
Right now, I'm still in the trenches trying to learn.
You're the trenches, so we must be in the dugout.
Yeah, we must be like.
Well, you know what? We're all beavers in the dirt. That's it.
Nah, no doubt, man. I mean, everyone has their lane. You know what I mean? Red Alert's been doing this for a long time.
Right.
And he's legendary as well in his own right. But you're legendary with bringing in the R&B soul to billions of people in the tri-state area. How do you feel about that?
Well, you know what? I'm fortunate and blessed to have stayed in this industry for as long as I have. To stay in my home of New York City for the last 17 years. It's a blessing. I don't take it for granted. I don't take it as something that it's owed to me. I think it just keeps me humble and keeps me working. And I think when you get too comfortable in this game, no matter whether it's this industry or anything you want to pursue in life, I think that's when you kind of really need to reassess where you are and what you really want to do. Because I think the people that succeed are the most passionate about whatever they're into. I don't think you can succeed if you're not passionate about something. You have to be passionate about it. If this is what you're passionate about, whether you're a camera person, whether you are just doing administrative work. If you're not passionate about it, you're not going to be able to excel and bring the best out of yourself and give the best.
Right. What do you feel that helped contribute to you being in the industry for so long? You know, there's many people that just go and come, and you have set your place in the industry, especially amongst the audience.
Well, I think the major contribution is, as I said, and it may sound corny to most, but it really isn't to me. I think the first aspect of that is it's a blessing. It's a blessing and it's an opportunity that God has given me to do this. There's a lot of people that have, as you said, been in the game, came out the game, and trying to get back in the game. I don't own none of this, you know. So this is of a higher supreme, and I'm thankful for the opportunity. But on another note, I think it's about building relationships. You know, it's all about establishing a good rapport. Now, everyone ain't gonna love you like your mama.
Right.
That is
Bottom
true.
line. So you're not gonna win everybody's heart, but I think if you're going to stay in this game of whatever industry you want to pursue, you have got to build relationships with people, because that's what's going to open up the door for the next level. Now, if a person who you created a relationship with gives you that opportunity to get in the door, now you have to be responsible for not only what you do, but understand how you got in the door.
That's right.
So now you're standing on somebody else's shoulders.
Right.
Which means, again, you need to excel to your fullest potential if this is really what you want to do. Because now you're reflective of the person who actually gave you the connect to come inside the door.
Well, honestly, and I'm going to touch a little bit on that. And I'm happy that he's here. You know, Red is over there being as modest as he could be.
He's in the cut.
As modest as he could be.
It's in the cut.
At a really young age, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I got a scholarship to LIU. I was a little bit not sure if I wanted to do corporate, because I had that lane too, making $75,000 a year. But Red Alert showed me how this works at a young age, and that's when I decided this is what I want to do.
But you know what? I think it's okay, and anybody who might be watching, listening to us right now, it's okay that you may not know for certain of what you want to do. But get out
it's
there
scary,
and get your
though.
feet wet. Well, life is scary as an adult, even if you know what you're doing. So it's scary no matter what. I mean, it's kind of understandable if we're young, at a young age, just coming out of high school, and we're really kind of uncertain. Look, I'm all for every kid furthering their education. And the reason why I say that is because, and I don't have a 4-year degree. I want to get one. I want to actually get my master's. But I think it allows you to compete on a corporate level. It allows you to compete in the arena of just the workplace. There's no guarantees now.
No guarantees.
Nothing's guaranteed.
Nothing
just because you have a degree don't mean that you can be guaranteed a job.
Right, yeah,
that is
people
correct.
A lot of people with jobs,
Yeah.
I mean, that's jobless now. They have wonderful degrees, psychology majors and the whole nine. But, I mean, there was a time where a high school diploma was acceptable. There was a time when what I have now, an associate's degree, was acceptable. Well, the bar has risen, above. So if you want to compete on certain levels in life, depending on what industry you want to go into, I think you have to compete academically and from an educational standpoint as well. Because, again, that's an impressive presentation. You never know when opportunity, I think both of you can agree with this,
Yes.
is going to present itself. And when opportunity presents itself, you want to at least make sure that you have the right credentials. And the right credentials doesn't necessarily have to mean, I'm not backpedaling or double talking, doesn't necessarily have to mean a degree. It could be life experiences as well. It could be this experience, It's nothing like doing this. If you're going to be at the next network, maybe you guys are going to venture into getting on Revolt or getting on Aspire, the 2 new networks that's out here now. They're going to look at the body of work that both of you have contribute to determine, can these guys make a difference for us? And can they take it to the next level? But, again, we, as people of color who have been always tested, and we're still being tested on many levels, to exceed beyond everyone else. I think sometimes it's important for us to have the necessary credentials that we need to have at the end of the day. So that way, if they say, well, we would take you for this, but unfortunately, you don't have this degree. And that did happen to me. Before...
Heard it here first, guys.
Yeah, heard it here first.
Before I had a job offer at Kiss FM in New York, which is no longer in existence, there was an opportunity for me to work with students at Grambling State University. I think I just shared with you guys that I don't have a 4-year degree. And at that time, I didn't have a 2-year degree. I had stopped because I fell in love with radio in college. So I had stopped, my school, and everything was at a standstill. Well, whoever the administrative director was looked at my resume and said, well, he doesn't have a 4-year degree, and we really would want a person require.
Well, I know they really regret that.
Yeah,
really regret that. Right?
Everything happens for a reason. Right.
Right.
So they said we really require for someone to teach our students to have a minimum of a 4-year degree. I'm like, oh, well. So that blew that job opportunity. But then God opened up another opportunity, and that was the opportunity to work at Kiss FM, and that was a wonderful opportunity.
I have a question for you. Who was the person that took you under the wing and said, let me show you a couple of things in radio? There had to be someone.
Oh, no, there was several.
Several?
Several.
Mentor.
Mentors.
Mentors.
Well, again, this radio thing wasn't my first love.
Okay.
I thought I was going to be Michael Jackson II.
We all thought.
I had a voice back then, brother. I could sing, and I don't sing now.
I think we all wanted to be Michael Jackson.
Well, I knew I was going to be in line next.
I just wanted to be the Quincy Jones.
Hey, see, you were thinking business.
Yeah,
you were thinking royalties and everything else down the way.
Well,
I get it. I
yeah,
get it.
definitely.
So singing was my first love.
Right.
It wasn't until I got to the college radio station that I discovered, well, people had been encouraging me to go and visit the station, and once I did that, then that's when I fell in love with the radio thing, and then that's when I started paying attention to the Frankie Crocker, Vaughn Harper, Jerry Bledsoe, and the list just goes on. Gary Bird, Jeff Troy.
But there had to be that one person.
Well, there was one guy who still works. Well, it clicked once I got bit by the radio bug. But the one guy who kind of started was Bugsy.
Bugsy. Okay.
Bugsy was working at Kiss FM, and I was working for the network that owned Kiss FM, which, going back and dating myself, the RKO Radio Networks owned Kiss FM for a moment back in the day. And I was ripping paper off the Associated Press machine from midnight until 8 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
And I had discovered that Kiss FM was downstairs. So one night I got the nerve to go downstairs and ring the bell. And I didn't know, but Bugsy was on the air, and he buzzed me in. And when I walked into the studio, as he is today, as he was then. Very genuine, very welcoming, very knowledgeable, and I was so amazed at how he could conduct a conversation with me and then say, hold on just a minute, and go in the air just as focused, hit the point, and delivered it.
Wow. And
came back to the conversation. I was like, wow.
That it's almost like seeing two different personalities.
It was seeing two different personalities. And I was like so fascinated with everything from that point. And he was, again, hey, anytime you want to come by, come on through.
How do you feel, Lenny, the change that has taken place from the time that you have started in radio to where we at now?
There's been a lot of changes, man. It's hard to cover the spectrum on everything that has taken place. Music has changed. Technology has enhanced. It has quadrupled in many ways for the better. But for the worse too, because technology has advanced so much, they really don't need a personality sometimes, to do certain things.
Wow.
Which,
that's
so
deep.
you gotta be careful on that. But needless to say, technology has enhanced itself, and it's become even more corporate. Radio has become more corporate than how it used to be back in the day. It was more of a free-flowing situation. Now it's more corporate, it's more strategic, it's more business, it's more strategy. It's not a lot of gut. It's test. It's testing music out, making sure it's a potential hit, as opposed to just boom, boom, boom. But we do have other aspects of radio. But on a corporate level, on a corporate level, I think that's how the industry has changed. And there's no guarantees, especially in this business.
Yeah. Well, real quick,
they're not giving out contracts like they used to give out contracts. So pretty much, you could be gone real quick.
Wow. That's almost a scary thought.
Yeah. It is a scary thought.
That's scary.
So that's why I said, going back to, I'm thankful for the blessing. I walk by faith. If you don't have any faith in this game, if you don't have, I don't care who you sit or bend, get down on your knees and pray to, but you got to understand that there's a higher supreme, at least I believe. There's a higher supreme, definitely upon the human race, beyond the human race.
Yes.
So I pray to my God for the blessing, and there's a great deal of walking by faith. And when you walk by faith, you do not know
that is correct.
what tomorrow brings.
That is correct.
You embrace and you're happy about what happens, but you just never know.
Just to emphasize on that, I just want to emphasize on that. I believe that there is a source energy, and I believe that we are all forces of that source energy. And what you're saying is, I think that has a lot to do with what takes place in one's life.
Well, I believe the same thing. And I wasn't fortunate to have an earth father, but I know who my father is.
That's right.
Amen. That's right.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh wow.
See, I know God is everybody's father, but He really is my father.
Okay. Real quick, the transition that I was having, and I don't know. Now that Red Alert is in the building, at the time when Red took me in, when he was going to downtown and doing his thing, my mom and my
that was before my time.
Oh, here we go.
He's doing himself now.
Here we go.
Yeah, I mean, when did that come? That was a long time.
That was a while ago. Okay. But I was going through a transition, like my mom and my dad had split up. And I was looking, like I said to you before, I was looking for where I was going to go on my career path. And once I saw what was going on with radio, with music at that time, I was like, this is what I want to do.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But before then, it was like, for all the brothers that's watching, it was a scary situation.